Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today we're checking out a 2024 Acura TLX in the Type S trim level. This vehicle is sitting on 255/35 Pirelli tires wrapped around 20-inch alloy wheels with a gloss copper finish. It also has a high-performance Brembo braking system in the front with ventilated rotors, and in the back is solid disc rotors. The name of this color is Urban Gray Pearl, and when the sun's shining you can actually see the pearl effect that it has. It's a very impressive color, but of course the sun really makes a difference. On a gloomy, cloudy day it's hard to tell the quality of the color here. So in the front, very impressive. Type S. It has the center badge, which is the adaptive cruise control radar sensor. There in the center, and then the grille kind of expands out with a pattern away from that badge, and then it has a camera right above it integrated nicely. There's parking sensors across the front and a splitter, a gloss black splitter there at the bottom, and it has the jewel eye headlight system, which is fantastic. You should see it at night. I have the full night video on this vehicle, and it works really well. It's in the top 10 headlights for sure, and it's very similar to the Acura Integra. So very impressive headlights, and just overall the vehicle is pretty good at nighttime. There's a few misses, but pretty impressive overall. Looking at the profile, I really like these copper-looking wheels. They're really nice. They look good. They're simple design, and they're fairly easy to clean as well. So just overall nice. Now the pillars here are blacked out, so it really needs some tint on the glass. The body colored handles, upper portion of the side mirror is also a gloss black. But yeah, really impressive looking side profile. It does have the full proximity key here, the Type S on it. It has a remote start, the ability to open up the trunk and everything as well. There's a physical key inside. And it's the type of system where you put your hand behind the handle to unlock, and you put your finger over the sensor here to lock. The inside of the passenger side door has all the colors basically you'll see in the vehicle. So it has the black here. This is a soft touch material, and then it has like this metallic piece here going in with the handle, all like a metal looking, but it's just a plastic. It's not like a aluminum or anything, but it looks really nice. Then you have the double stitch red design here. This is all soft touch, like a vinyl here and here. Then you have the hard touch at the bottom. The red popping out looks really good. It's kind of an interesting color combination between the red, the exterior color, and the copper wheels. It's kind of different. Has the Type S badge here and the sill plate and the threshold there, and then there's a power seat here on the passenger side, and you have the ability to adjust the bolsters, the leg. There's a lot of adjustments for a passenger seat. You can go up and down, you tilt the back. There's a lot of adjustments here for a passenger seat, and these are really good, comfortable seats. Had the black piping there, suede there in the center, perforated as well. Look really nice. Lots of legroom here. There's a locking glove compartment. There's a hard touch surface here. Smooth plastic. And there's more of that vinyl type material with the stitching here and here. This is like a rubbery soft dash. The inside of the back door, basically the same, very similar styling. You have the vinyl materials and everything, pockets. The back seat is fairly roomy, except for the legroom. When you put these front seats back, it kind of diminishes the legroom a little bit, but that's usually the case. But but yeah, the actual seats, lots of room, and you can see the floorboards kind of sink in there to give you more legroom. There is pockets on the back of both front seats, and they kind of expand out so you can look in there, but they are like a plastic. Then there's two USB ports, USB-C ports here, cup holders, a little space on the armrest. They do have the latch system for car seats, and I'm gonna pull this back so you can see. Right there is where they are, so it's really easy to get to, and this kind of tucks away and covers them up pretty good. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, it has a shark fin antenna that's body colored. Third brake light is here at the top of the glass. And there's a deck lid spoiler in a gloss black, looking pretty cool and sporty. Speaking of cool and sporty, check out these exhaust tips back here. It has a quad exhaust with a simulated diffuser back here as well. Parking sensors. The backup camera is really nicely integrated right here in this higher position. Integrated with the badge. Looks really good. Now, the tail lights are all LED, and I show all these in the night video. Reverse lights, brake lights, all that stuff. To open up the trunk here, you can press this button or you can use the key. And it lifts up all the way. There's a carpeted underside. The trunk is fairly roomy. You can add to your cargo space, but the thing about this trunk, I'll show you that in a second here actually, because there is no spare tire. Because it has the performance system here, it does have the tire inflator kit, but you would have to have a full huge spare tire, plus this is where they put the battery. So as far as the spare tire, doesn't have one. But it is carpeted and everything. And this is where you release the seats to fold them down. But since it's the Type S, it has these braces right here that kind of interfere with you putting huge stuff in here, is when you fold the seats down. Just keep that in mind. The fuel door is here on the driver's side, and it has a capless design. Now it does use a premium fuel. Let's go ahead and remote start it using a key here so we can hear the exhaust a little bit. Has a nice soft rumble when it's not in sport mode, but when you put it in sport mode, it's a little bit louder. So now it's in sport mode. It's a little bit louder at an idle, but when you're driving, you can definitely tell the difference. So this one has the sporty pedals and the footrest all matching, looking nice. Let's take a look under the hood. The latch is right here in the center, basically. Move it to the left, lift it up. And you notice there's some insulation on the underside of the hood, but there's also a heat shield right there because we have the turbochargers. And it's all heat shielded and everything. Now this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, but the position of the engine is like a front-wheel drive. So the front of the engine's here, back of the engine's there, and then the transmission is down there. It has an all-wheel drive system. They call it super handling all-wheel drive, and it has rev matching on downshifts, and it is really tight, really very impressive acceleration, tightness of the transmission, but also the handling is superb, and everything just goes together in an impressive way. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. The power windows are one touch up and down, and they are a solid glass, not a laminated. Right here. And door lock controls there. Side mirrors are adjusted there. You can also power fold the side mirrors as well, or in addition to that, you can also have them power fold when the vehicle turns off and you lock it, basically. Now it has the blind spot detection system, and the indicator is right here. It's not in the side mirror like some vehicles. There's the two presets for the seats, and then there's the button to release the trunk. And we basically have the same adjustments here on the driver's side. It has the bolster adjustments. It has this thigh extension here. You can of course raise, lower, tilt, all that stuff. To the left of the steering column, these are for the HUD, so you can move it up and down the HUD, and then you have the brightness for the HUD. This is a shortcut to go to some of the safety settings here in the screen. This is the button to turn on the heated portion underneath the windshield wipers to release them if they're frozen. Parking sensors, you can turn them on or off as a little indicator light. And then this button is to turn the traction control off. Default will be on. And then there is the dimmer switch for the engages. Tilt and telescoping steering column as well. There's these little side compartments right here, and they're big enough to put, say, just some papers or something like that, here and here. And there's also a 12-volt power supply on this passenger side. So they could be useful, those compartments there. Now I'm 6 feet tall, and I have the driver's seat. We'll go ahead and put it all the way back, all the way down, to give you an idea of the potential legroom, which is a lot. Definitely too far back for me to drive this vehicle with it all the way back. Now it diminishes the rear legroom to be big time, but I will have to pull it up. So if you're like, you know, well over 6 feet, should have no problem driving this vehicle. The steering wheel, it has the stitching there on the inside in red, and it's fairly comfortable. Nice sporty looking steering wheel. Has the perforations there, smooth leather there at the top and the bottom. It has a Type S badge here. And yeah, it looks really good, feels good. You got nice secure grip. There is the paddle shifters here on the back of the steering wheel as well if you want to shift through. It's very fast shifting transmission. So yeah, it'd be probably fun to use the paddle shifters to cycle through them. Here on the left side is the radio basically, so you can turn it on or off here. The volume for the radio, and then you can slide this little scroll wheel left to right to change through the tracks or radio station depending on what you're playing. Voice recognition is here. There's this back and this menu button and this scroll wheel, which corresponds with the heads-up display. And basically you can change the audio source, you can change the view of the heads-up display, and then you can do scroll here, make selections by pushing in, and then there's a back button to go out of certain menus. So the heads-up display, it has the adjustment to go up and down like this, and you can kind of frame it the way you want it. You also have the brightness control here, which includes bringing it all the way down to off. And then when you pop up the menu here, this is where you can change the different information here that you want. Select navigation. We can search nearby. We'll go to restaurants. And go back out of that. And go to the satellite radio, different audio sources. We can customize the apps. We'd basically just select the ones that we want to eliminate. I have them all checked right now. And then the select driving view. So this is the one I have it on here, which has everything. And then you can go here to the left and have it less, all the way down to just a speedometer if you want, or have it blank, which is then once again just turning it off. So that one there has the most information, the final one there, and that's what I've been using. And even though it has a lot of information, it only has the navigation popped up when you need it, when you actually have something set on there. But even then, it's still not overbearing. It's not overly distracting. The clarity and everything, just the way it looks good. It's very easily read, and it doesn't kind of get in your way. You know, like some heads-up displays are too high up, or they're too bright, or they're too bold, or something like that. There's something about them that makes it a distracting experience. This one is not really a big deal. Here on the right side is the cruise control. So you can turn it on here, set, resume, cancel. You can turn on the lane keep assist system here, and then the distance between you and the vehicle here. Now this little scroll wheel in the left and right corresponds with the screen. We'll get to that in a second. Windshield wiper controls are here, and it does have an automatic function as well, rain sensing windshield. And then on the left side is a turn signal, but it also has the headlight switch. And you can toggle on or off the headlights as well here. And like if you have the headlights on at nighttime and you turn them off, once you start driving, it'll just automatically turn them back on. So you can't drive around without lights. Now there's another button here, which is fantastic. This button here for the camera, when you press that, it pops up the camera over here, and it's just so convenient and easy to get to. When you're driving, you're getting close to a parking space or something, you just hit that button and you can nail the parking spot perfectly. So I love the fact that they have a quick and easy, without taking your hands off the wheel, way of pulling up the camera. That's a big deal for me. Like Toyota and Lexus has basically an automatic function. When you go to a low speed, it'll automatically pop up. This is actually better because you can choose when you want to turn it on, this button here. So really like that feature. Okay, so the gauges are here. And the gauges are, you have different views. So this is sport mode, and then it has normal and then comfort. You also have an individual, and you have a sport plus as well. There's sport plus, which has the G meter pops up there. But yeah, you can customize this. You can have more information, different information here on the right side. Make selections, what you want on this right side. You can have trips, navigation, information, that kind of stuff. Tire pressure. Under this gauge settings here, I'm going to select that. We can change the units to kilometers per hour if we need to. We also have the gauge layout, which we can go. Right now we're in advanced, and this is crafted. So it has more of a traditional look here with the simulated dials. Now the way this screen operates is you control it down here. It's not a touch screen. So you have the home button, back button, you have the side panel button, and then you can swipe through on the side panel, or you can make selections on the main screen here. There's also volume, change to the tracks, that kind of thing. But basically it's like a mouse where you hover over what you want to select. But you do have to hold your finger on the touchpad and make the selection and then press down on it. So if we go to the navigation here, select that, and then it pops up. And I gotta say that this is not really the most intuitive system here, and it definitely needs an update. Here's a side panel that you can scroll through. Now I do like that clock with the date. I do like that feature. The side panel sometimes, you know, not so useful sometimes. But another thing is the Bluetooth system I've had problems with. The Android Auto system I've had problems with. I don't know if this particular vehicle has a connection problem. Even USB and wireless Android Auto, I haven't been able to get it to work but one time. So yeah, it's this system is not really, it's not the best, you know. This vehicle is really made for driving and enjoyment of driving, but the system really takes you back. Sets it down a little bit, especially if you enjoy listening to music while you drive. It's a little bit frustrating trying to use the system. But you know, if you have this vehicle and you use it regularly, you can probably have some muscle memory and go into the things that you like to go into. But you know, it's a little bit non-intuitive, and needs a little bit of a learning curve. So here's the climate control, and you can turn it on or off, change where you want the air to blow, fan speed, front and rear defrosters. Also turns on the heated side mirrors when you turn on the rear defrosters. You can sync the temperatures, the driver and passenger temperatures. Heated and cooled seats with an automatic function here. This is the drive mode I was selecting, so as I turn that, pops up here on the screen. Pretty cool. And we turn and hold, go into Sport Plus, and then you can press the individual right here and select it, and also, you know, set it up the way you want it. So this vehicle does have the idle stop, which you can turn off here, and also has brake hold. This is the shifter, and it's fairly easy to use once you get used to it. A lot of people see this type of shifter and they instantly just don't like it, you know. I had this in my Ridgeline, and I really enjoyed it after a short period of time. So park is there, reverse is here, neutral, and then drive. If you hit drive again, it'll go into the standard mode. You can use the paddle shifters. So we saw this stuff, and it has this little pad right here so you can rest your arm while you're using this system here. So that way when you're driving, hitting bumps, your hand's not moving around. You can keep a steady hand while you're using the system. There's also a search function on the navigation in which you can spell out numbers and letters and stuff like that. You know, it can come in handy at certain times, but it's you know, it's not something you really want to do when you're driving anyway. So, you know, I think a touchscreen would actually be better overall. Cup holders with little arms right there, spring loaded. There's a wireless cell phone charger here, and the cell phone kind of tucks under here a little bit. You can see that. And there's a little place for wires to go in and out of this compartment. There's the USB-C, USB-A, 12-volt power supply, little storage cubby here, and I have that USB cord in there because I was trying to get the wireless Android Auto to work. It didn't work, so I had to plug it in. Still didn't work. So I was able to get it work one time wirelessly, and then it just quit working after that. Has an auto dim rear view mirror. There's a little tap lights up here. You see how they work in the night video. There's a little place to put your sunglasses. This is for the sunroof. We'll get to that in a minute. The headliner is a black cloth material. Same thing with this, the visor. And then it has the light with the mirror, which I forgot to show in the night video. It started raining heavily on me when I was doing the night video, so if there's some stuff missing, that's why. Okay, so there is the sunroof. It has a shade that blocks 100% of the light. And we can go ahead and tilt it up. It's not raining right now. Close it, we can slide it back. As far back as it goes. I haven't had any problem with visibility. It has that little pillar window there in the back, and just overall visibility hadn't been a problem. I mean, the camera really helps out. And then you have the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, parking sensors and all that stuff as well. But yeah, just over the shoulder visibility, not really an issue. So I'm going to have the window sticker and also a bunch of other information, specifications and different packages and the difference between the different trims and everything. I'm going to have that a link in the description that you can go to on my website, and I'll have all this stuff listed out. So this should help you decide, like, learn more about the TLX and the different trims, because the Type S is quite a bit different than the other trims. So yeah, I'll have all this information linked to in the description, all this information. I like the preciseness of when you let off the accelerator, it stops the vehicle. It has that engine braking, and you don't like just fly over the speed that you want to stop at. It's very precise in the vehicle, the engine, the transmission, the braking system. Everything is very precise. So there's certain movements that I have to do when I'm filming the vehicle, and a vehicle that's not very precise, it's harder for me to make those movements. So this vehicle is great. The braking and the transmission, the way everything lines up, there's no play. It's just solid, razor sharp. Steering is nice and tight. It just feels really, really good. The driving experience, the sport, it delivers on the sport feeling and sound, and just the essence of a sports car. I love the way the shifts in sport mode are so fast. It just very impressive. The exhaust note with those fast shifts, it's just, if a finely tuned engine like this that accelerates and is sharp and just has that really tight feeling to it, it's just very impressive. So on the highway like this, just putting it on regular normal mode, you set the cruise control, cruising along. This has a very impressive ride quality. You know, it doesn't have that normal stiff performance, bumpy, log cart type feel for a sport vehicle. It is a very good ride quality, and the seat is comfortable, the ride quality is good, the steering is nice. It just like a normal vehicle, just the normal driving experience is not hindered by it being a sports car. You still feel like a you can just drive it, and there's no other disadvantages other than the electronics over here. The radio system, right, that definitely needs to be upgraded. This vehicle may just need to be fixed because it's a problem with the Bluetooth system and all that stuff. Bluetooth and Android Auto with my phone, it's just not working right. Playing the music that I have been able to play through like satellite radio and stuff sounds really good, but the Bluetooth system's staticky, and it just kind of takes away from the experience. So other Hondas and Acuras will have this little screen down here, which gives you some information about whether it sees the lines on the road, whether it sees other vehicles, the adaptive cruise control, that kind of stuff. So this is, I've seen this in like Honda Civic and stuff like that, but this one has a really good head-up display. It has a lot of information. It's very sharp, clear. It has the adjustments. It's very easy to get to. So yeah, the head-up display is really good. The gauge cluster itself is really good. It has different views and everything. But the sporty kind of view is fine. Either one is fine. The more traditional dial one is kind of a little bit too bland. I like this new sporty look to the alternate look here. But yeah, overall, whether you're buying it for a sports car or you're buying it for a daily driver, or both, this checks the box on both. It's a little bit less practical than, say, a hatchback or something, right? But for a four-door sedan with a regular trunk, it is fine as far as, like, you can justify this for a, small family or something. It's pretty impressive. And it looks good. It's a really good-looking vehicle. And the wheels, this one has the like a gold or a copper looking wheel, but the way they're designed, they're very easy to clean. They look good. They're a nice simple design that emphasizes the red calipers and all that stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of positive to say. The only really main thing that needs to be improved is the radio system, how you interact with it, and apparently the reliability. Now there's a slight motion in the head-up display. Sometimes I hit a bump and it's like it's loose in there or something. So that's another thing. Those are two things that if I bought this vehicle, I would have to take it back to the dealership and say, hey, there's a couple things that need to be fixed, But if those were fixed and there was, everything was working fine, then yeah, this is a really fun and good-looking, enjoyable ride. It's like you walk out to it, if you see it in the driveway or you see it, somewhere you park it and you look back, you're like, wow, that is a very nice looking vehicle. It makes you feel good to drive it.